This is a synthesis of the book Reinventing Project-Based Learning by Susie Boss and Jane Cross of 3 chapters, Chapter 3, 4, and 5. Chapter 3 is all about envisioning the possibilities. The first step to imagining the possibilities is to identify the core concepts that you want your students to learn from the project, and that how can this project best connect them to the world around them. With projects, you have to prepare for the new digital age of skills. According to Boss, 2014, a well-designed project causes students to stretch their intellectual muscles. So as teachers, we have to prepare students for the rigor associated with the digital age. Bloom taxonomy of educational objectives helps us to understand and break down these concepts. Students have to remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. By connecting all of these steps, a project can be the best that it can. Essential learning functions. There are millions of digital resources that teachers can use and find to build their project. However, the essential functions of projects remain the same. Each project should have research base, make ideas visible, have collaboration, have good project management, allow the students to reflect, and support student enrichment tools. These functions allow teachers to create basic framework for the project so that authentic learning is occurring. We move on to Chapter 4, Rediscovering Approaches and Activities. Project presents students with an opportunity to think critically, think about the world around them, connect to their world. Aspects of these can help provide framework and improve quality, according to Boss. In your project, you can include compare and contrasting, prediction, understanding causal relationships, determine how parts relate to the whole, look at change over time, and many others. These approaches and activities can help really create authentic learning through your project. Some important features of project design are allowing for the possibility of different paths. Students are going to create critical thinking, so allowing for different possibilities of different paths allows for even better critical thinking. They're generative, so they cause students to construct meaning. It's not just told to them. They capture student interest through complex and compelling real-life examples. And most importantly, they're realistic. And so therefore they cross multiple disciplines. So they focus on science and math, but they're also realistic. We're not buying 5 huge watermelons and nobody does that. So the best projects naturally tend to address multiple disciplines for a true authentic learning. This is not something that can be pushed or forced. As you go through the steps of creating a good project and you develop it well, it will naturally address multiple disciplines. Finally, Chapter 5 is all about meaningful assessment. These projects are great, but what do they learn from them? By starting the beginning of the project, we already create the parameters for student learning and activity in your project design, according to Boss. Boss had an interview with Bob Lenz, who is the founder of Envision Education, and he addresses 2 essential questions to help guide assessment. What do we want students to know and be able to do because of the project or from the project? And how will we know that they have achieved these goals? There are 2 different types of assessment that are best used. There's formative assessment, which takes place often and throughout the steps of the project. It allows the teacher to see where the students are learning, where they're struggling, and adjust the project accordingly. Summative assessment is assessment that takes place at the very end of the project. So it's a big cumulative. You've done all this project and now you're seeing what you've learned looking back. This assessment can be based on a rubric, a test, or a performance of a task. And at the end of the stage, teachers, if they're good teachers, should also evaluate the project itself, determining the effectiveness of getting kids interested and to the right destination of learning. If a certain aspect didn't work, this would be the time to change. If you notice that a certain aspect really was great, maybe we should enhance that aspect. Well, that's all. Thank you for listening and have a good day.